Beautiful. Okay. Thank you. That's so weird that it gave you the option and it didn't give me the option.
Super.
But regardless, um, I again appreciate you taking the time. I want to make this like as quick as we can while just kind of answering as many questions as we can. And maybe I'll start with just a little bit about me. So you already know I'm a student at ASU. But the reason I chose this advocacy is because I'm also in the LGBT community. So it also has like a personal side. And since I've been kind of getting myself into schools and into this education system, I'm just been seeing a lack of resources for it's not a lot of students, but I have met students who do need some kind of resources and there really aren't any policies or anything like that in place. So that's kind of where and why I decided to research this. Um, Within my research too, I kind of already told you that it's really hard to get in touch with some of these resources that are supposed to be kind of local. And I found that the organization I had been in contact with is actually like not staffed, they're volunteer. So
Mhm.
it's also really hard to continue having conversations because a lot of people are doing other stuff as well. You know, they have full-time jobs over here, but they come here to show their support and do what they can. But it's it's still kind of difficult, you know, for people to get the resources they need. So I really appreciate organizations like yours, and I'm happy to learn more about it. And you know, maybe after this we can even still keep in contact.
Sure, absolutely.
I am wearing my I love my wife hat today.
I love it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yes. So, okay, after all that, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So,
Sure.
um, question one, can you explain your role and responsibilities within the organization related to the LGBTQIA plus youth?
Sure. So my name is Joe. I use she, her, ella pronouns. And my role here at the Whittier LGBT Center, I am coordinator site supervisor. And so I ensure that one, the space is first and foremost safe. That is a space that youth and folks that come and walk through our doors be in a setting that is comfortable for them, safe for them, and that we meet some of their needs that they're maybe not able to be met, such as drop-in services. So we offer showers, we offer laundry, we offer a clothing closet, a gender-affirming clothing closet. And then we also offer, light meals like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, cup of noodles, things that folks come into the space that are in need of a quick meal. A computer lab. We also offer computer lab. And so, really, it's just kind of providing a safe space for user folks that come through our doors where they could be comfortable, get their most necessities met, but also just a safe space to be themselves and just relax.
That all sounds great.
Mhm.
I like the keyword like affirming too, you know. Um,
Mhm.
that's wonderful. What are your main focuses in advocacy?
I mean, our main focus is, I would say, as a whole, not just mine personally, but I think as a whole,
Mhm.
with your LGBT Center is to create an inclusive space, right? Where it's like affirming, inclusive, but also being able to meet folks where they are. And so some people, because we see folks experiencing rejection, we see family dynamics being broken due to sexual orientation or gender identity or gender expression, whatnot. Um, then this is kind of the place for to be able to advocate for someone for their whole well-being, not just serving the component of like the sexual orientation or gender identity or gender expression, which I like to use that as the acronym SOGI, but also the whole well-being of the individual, which also includes mental health, physical health, housing. So those are all the things that the entire wheel of wellness.
I like that a lot. In doing a lot of research, the thing that keeps coming up, and I'm sure you're fully aware of this, is that, you know, a lot of students, youth in this community, experience bullying, just
Mhm.
really the places that don't feel accepting of who they are. And it makes it difficult for them to just go to school every day and learn. Where just,
Mhm.
every kid should just be able to go and learn and not worry about anything. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I really like that. Inclusive space, that's important for sure. Um, we're skipping this one. What kind of data do you use to help with decisions about the support for all of your people?
So we've done survey monkeys for the community. This
Hmm.
space, the inception of the space was in August of 2024.
Hmm.
And so with that, we did a survey monkey tool for folks in the community of what they would like to see, what groups, what activities, what events they would like to see in the space. And so that because of that, for example, we have a wellness and recovery group that we offer via Zoom remote to give reach to folks that are not able to come in. We also offer the wellness and recovery group in person. We offer a Department of Mental Health support group for LGBTQ plus folks. We offer a art LGBTQ group for adolescents. And then we also offer an AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, CMA, which is Crystal Method Addicts Recovery. We just added, literally this Friday will be their debut to our Sex Lovers Anonymous group. And
Oh, awesome.
yeah, so it's SLAW, our SLAW group. That's
Hmm.
going to be taking place this Friday for the first time. And then next week on Monday, I'm actually going to have a sex compulsive addicts group that's going to be in Spanish, also in person, right? And so with that, and then we also have an art collage group that we offer on Fridays. And of course, how can I not mention it's such a hit on Wednesdays, we offer yoga. And and then also on Thursdays, we offer a mutual aid where we serve 100 folks with produce, with eggs, bread, potatoes, milk, the
Wow.
essentials, right? The essentials of folks. So not only that, not only do they come and take food home, but they also get to walk through our resources. So we have outside organizations come into our space and offer the resources to our community,
Mm,
which is really fantastic.
cool. So you guys partner with a bunch of different
Yes, we
places to
partner
help
with
get them the,
many, correct.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like it's impossible, right? I think, and I'm sure you could agree or you have seen it yourself, but it takes a village to be able to support a community, right?
Yeah.
And so with that being said, there's just no way that we ourselves could do this ourselves. And so with the partnership of outside organizations, I think that's what gives it power to be able to support and provide resources to the community is partnering with others. The other thing that actually that I have on the coming on the pipeline is we're also partnering with LA Metro, which is going to provide us with transportation vouchers to the community that we serve. So that
Wow.
way they can make it to their appointments or their mental health appointments, their physical appointment, whatever appointments it is that they need, transportation is very much often a barrier to services.
Hmm.
And so having that is something that is also really, really helpful.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. And something that I hadn't thought of either is the transportation part of it.
Oh yeah, it's 100%. I mean, especially being in LA County, right? So where traffic is happening, transportation,
Yeah.
right? So definitely transportation is oftentimes a barrier for folks getting to care.
Wow. That's, you guys do a lot of stuff. That's really crazy. That's cool. Cool. Well, yeah, you kind of answered the follow-up to that, right? The what well, okay, in regards to partnering, because partnering is power, as you said,
Mhm.
what challenges do you face when you're working with those organizations?
What challenges do we face with it? I would say oftentimes, so I can't dismiss, right, and call out the elephant in the room with this administration and all the budget cuts that have been happening. So
Yeah.
oftentimes the number one thing that we experience is personnel, right? So there's like cuts to personnel, which limits the amount of folks that are able to be on the line to support and
Hmm.
do the work. Because obviously, for obvious reasons, that one person can't do wear too many hats. So that's one thing. The other thing that has been barriers is that every organization has their own policies and procedures of how they do things and how and why they can do things, especially when you are tied or connected to a grant, which then goes back to what I was just saying, funding expectations or deliverables, right? And
Right.
so that's oftentimes could be challenges around being able to get things. And it's not because the organization doesn't want to, right? There's just other background things that are in place that kind of provide a barrier to be able to get to the outcome that we want.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, what are the learning opportunities or programs that you have created to support everyone?
Okay, so one of the number one thing that we did notice, like I mentioned, was the transportation. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what can we do to help alleviate transportation, right? And
Hmm.
so that is when I connected with Metro. And so Metro is one of the organizations that comes to our space here to provide the resources. And so in networking and building relationships, that's why relationships are so powerful. Um, and so in that, that happened. And then the other thing was the sex lovers addicts group, our slaw group is another thing that the community was saying like, hey, we need this, this is something that we want to do and we need. And so I brought that on the books to be able to have here. The other one that I just kind of forgot to mention is so through this work, I've been doing this work for the past 14 plus years, and voice and choice and advocacy, right, for the young folks that we serve and adults and Tay youth, 18 and 24, is giving the community a voice to say what they need and what they want. And so with that, I know we had a resident, that community member, come into the space and said, hey, you know what? I am in third age, I'm a senior, I'm like in my 60s. And I really feel like I want to have a space where we could do things that everyone enjoys. And I was like, okay, tell me more. So he said, well, I would like to start a Dungeons and Dragons group. He's like, could we have a Dungeons and Dragons group? And I was like, totally. So that is actually coming online on May 22nd. So part of the decision making of what we want to see in the space is not just what we see and observe that the community needs and wants, but also hearing from the community of what they want. And so clearly the ask was Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Hmm.
The next one is um, financial literacy. And so when you start building community, when you start building rapport with the community that you serve, they will absolutely 100% let you know, hey, this is what we would like to see in this space. And so that's the whole point, right? Is to give the community what they need and what they want. And so I already know, okay, great. I don't even have to search what it is that we need to bring into the space because they are telling me. They are telling us
Wow.
what they want. And so May 22nd will be the launch of Dungeons and Dragons. And so then now, because I just heard literally on Tuesday, financial literacy, not just by one person, by a couple of people, different conversations. Then now my job is to kind of outreach and go to our local credit union or other banks to say, hey, can you come into our space and do a workshop for financial literacy?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So someone could ask for gardening. They want some help gardening and we want to get that into effect here. If there are multiple voices behind that, you guys might try to create something for them to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's because the whole purpose, right? The whole purpose is like serving the whole wheelhouse of an individual, um, the individual's well-being. So it's like physical health, mental health, spiritual health.
Mhm.
And so there's different parts and components that make up who we are. And so we have an event, an activity, a group programming in this space that is able to serve each one of those
Mhm.
things of an individual. Why not?
Mhm. I love that. Wow, that's really cool. I'm really I'm getting my degree in education, but the more I'm like learning and educating myself and reaching out to all these different organizations that really just want to help communities, I do feel like I kind of have a passion. So it's really cool hearing about everything that you guys do because that's amazing.
Awesome.
Um, let's see. As we're talking, I feel like we're kind of answering some of these questions. So let me
Mhm.
see. Your programs are definitely effective.
Yes.
Um, okay, here's maybe the last question.
Sure.
How do you think my idea of having inclusive space for people, I wrote students here, but
Mhm.
for this community, how could it align with or support the work that your organization is already doing?
I think one of the first things is like I hear and what comes to mind is like resource mapping, right? So even though you are studying with a at ASU,
Hmm.
but any resources that are able to be placed for folks where they could find us is ideal. People are constantly moving. And so even if like basically so putting us on your resources as a place as a touchdown space or a place that folks can call and come to or even visit or even tour. And as a matter of fact, actually on what is it today, Thursday, Tuesday, I had a community member come into the space and brought their family to tour a space and they were visiting from Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
exactly. And so I thought that was really cool. I was like, wow, like folks are bringing others, are coming out of state and then coming into space to tour it because it's a really tight-knit community and it's an incredible
Yeah.
space. And so as soon as you walk through our doors, it's a welcoming environment to have you and feel welcomed into our space. So the resources, I cannot stress enough about the resources and sharing who we are and our website, our contact information. And our website is Whittier LGBTQ Center.org.
Cool. All right. Resource mapping, making it available
Mm-hmm.
online. All
Mm-hmm.
right. How do you think I can improve my focus? Because I know you don't necessarily like work within the schools and the policy changes, which
Mm-hmm.
understand. Um, but I feel like such a small person, on the scale,
Mm-hmm.
trying to affect big change for something that I think is really necessary. So what can I do right now, do you think?
I think you just said, that you're going in education, right? And so in
Yeah.
that, going into in education, having the power, the knowledge, the information to be able to share that with your students or even parents of the students. I don't know what age group you're going to, as far as you want to teach or what you want to do necessarily with education, but with having the information and the resources to be able to share, I think is extremely powerful. Not only that, but in the LGBTQ plus community, one of the things that's constantly changing is also language. So one of the things that you can do is just kind of stay in the know of policy changes, procedure changes, language, and what is out there, what is needed, and what can also be done. So kind of just staying consistently curious.
Yeah, I mean, that's good advice. Um, I think that's everything that I have today. Thank you. It taught me a lot. I think this is a great resource. If I have any more questions, maybe we can just email back and forth. I don't have to
Yeah.
bother you with the
No, no,
with
no
the
worries. No
Zoom.
worries. No, I'm glad we were
But yeah,
able to connect too. And like I said, like I know that you are in this journey and I wanted to be as much of help as I possibly could. So this is a pleasure of mine to be able to have this conversation with you.
I really appreciate it, Joe.
All right.
All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. And maybe
You
I'll send
too.
you a follow-up email just in case this doesn't save on my end.
Um